All right, Wolfden, I'm going to walk you through what I call the science of hindsight, okay? And why chasing APYs and all this stuff, that this is super common, and it's not just in finance. This is actually how we got some of, and I've told some of some of my biggest paydays are from health institutions and stuff like that. So this is a very human thing. It applies to money, though, and that is this idea that some snapshot in time, right, can be extrapolated out, and that's going to be our future. And it never works that way, does it? Or we'd all be billionaires, and we would all have six-pack abs and look awesome and feel awesome and have the life we want already. So we have to stop chasing the snapshot in time. Now, a snapshot in time is something like the APYs on a farm, right? You look at it, and it's higher today than it was yesterday, or vice versa. That's just a snapshot in time. It doesn't tell us anything about what happens if we just sat in that farm, right? So we're going to talk about the science of hindsight. This is how you actually get what you want in real life. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm going to make suggestions, and those suggestions are just what I would do given my personality, my disposition. We all have our own unique disposition. You listen to whoever you want to listen to. Make your own decisions based on what you hear and learn, okay? But here is my opinion. Nothing matters. Nothing matters except for reality. Now, people say that a lot of times, and they're being skeptical, and this isn't skepticism. This is the fact that I don't want you to win in the internet world, or conceptually, I want you to win in real life. I want to win in real life. So we got to build a system where reality is favorable. Okay, let me give you an example. Now, this is not my personal farm, but this is one I was looking at yesterday for somebody and doing some math, and the formula broke, but that's okay because I know what it is. So let me fix this formula really quick. Daily rate, super easy, right? So daily rate is that divided by that. Boom. And the average APY formula is this. I7. And then we format it. You guys can follow this if you want. Percentages. Where's percentages? Here we go. Okay. And this isn't dollars. This is percentages as well. Okay. So now what we have is we have this farming system. And this is kind of a disjointed system. This isn't as smooth as what we want to build. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different systems that are they're not all compounding each other. But you can see the APRs here, right? You can see the daily rate, and you can see that the API is greater than any of these farms individually. So chasing a single APR or APY is ridiculous. So we're looking for synergy, and we're looking for, more importantly, the science of hindsight, which I'll show you in just a second, okay? So hopefully you can kind of wrap your mind around this real quick. This farm, as individuals, doesn't really matter. Like, there's some weird stuff, like this is 27%. That could be a stable. I know what it is in this case, but it could be a stable. Could just be a pool. There's a lot of reasons to sit in something like this and not chase higher APR or APY. So we get our daily rate, and we get our average. This is what we need to work off of, our average APY. And our base case is 70%. Okay? Our base case is 70%. Now, there's a lot of ways you could do really complicated math here. But the reality, back to, if we choose to believe that what matters is reality, is this is how much was in the farm, and this is how much was yielded in today, 24 hours. So that is the reality of the situation. You could try to get super creative in here and super complicated and super granular, and you're going to miss the forest for the trees, and you're going to outsmart yourself. You're going to end up driving this down to try to engineer higher stuff here. It happens all the time. Okay. So that's a snapshot in time. Now, we do not want to use this to go, all right, well, I'm going to get this for the next however long so I can plan my retirement. We want to use the science of hindsight. The science of hindsight. So how do we do that? We log it daily. Okay? This is just an example. So Monday, day 1, maybe you start on Wednesday. That's why it's day 1, not Monday. Maybe you start on Wednesday. That's the start of your tracking. So Wednesday's day 1. That's how much on the farm. That's how much was collected. That's your return for the day. And you just repeat that every day. Now here's the reality. Okay? And then we add this up. Divide it by 7. You could use the average function if you wanted. So you get the average for the week of what's in the farm. Okay. I just added this. I did a weekly here, but you can just do the average function if you wanted. You just go equals average of this, right? And you go equals average of that. Okay. Now, this is the weekly average, the rolling weekly average. This is what I'm on track. This is my APY. In reality, not a snapshot in time. I'm not taking this day and extrapolating it out for 365 days. I'm taking a rolling average of this week. Right? So hopefully that makes sense. And then you do it again. Okay? Look at this. Boom, better. Now here is where frequency of exposure becomes or high risk. Imagine you only check this once a week, or you check it every day and you're super emotional and you check it on day 5. Right? On day 5, you go, oh no, it's getting worse. Something is wrong. What am I doing wrong? You start pushing buttons because look, the total is lower, the percentage is lower. You start taking stuff apart, breaking stuff, right? We need to not do that. We need to wait for the rolling average to come in because, look, we are actually in a much better place. We've actually improved our trajectory by quite a bit, right? And then we're going to do it for week 3, and then we do it for week 4. And then what I'd recommend is you take all these averages, you do it again for the month, right? This is evidence. This is the reality that this is actually the path we are on, right? For a week, it shows we're on this path. And for another week, it shows we're on this path. Now, 1 data point is a point. 2 is a line. 3 is a trend. So if this comes out week 3 and I am above this or around this, I'm pretty happy. 4, 5, 6, right? We got to get a trend to gauge a trajectory. It's life is a motion picture. We got to stop this snapshot BS. So if you're wondering, I can give you the formula, but it's right here, right? I7 just represents the daily rate. Okay. 365 is the frequency. So since this is daily, it's 365. If this was weekly, it wouldn't be 365. It would be how many weeks are there in a year? 52. If it was monthly, it'd be 12. Right? It's a pretty basic APY calculation. All right, so do you see how, like, this doesn't matter today? You can look at this and be like, oh no, ApeSwap, drop the APYs, everything's broken. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Not if you build an ecosystem with synergy and you can have a day where you're like, ooh, I made 900 something this day and 700 something this way. It's $200 less. Oh my God. And then because of your propensity to take a snapshot in time and extrapolate it out, you're going to do that. You're going to extrapolate this out and go, oh, $200 less a day. That's, oh man, I'm losing $10,000 now. When really, you got to wait. You got to wait for the data to roll in and see that this trajectory has actually improved. Most people, 99% of people, whether they're on a diet or a business plan, making sales, marketing, crypto, they will change something right here because they can't wait for a rolling average to come in, and they will even go further back and they'll change something right here or right here because, oh no, ape swap, drop the APY, the astronaut, drop the APY, whatever, right, for a day. And they won't wait for the rolling average to come in. They'll start taking stuff apart, and they'll never actually get this compounding effect. Okay, so that's how you do. That's how I recommend to do the math. Is granular, daily. This is just collection. Never, ever, ever, ever make decisions based on this granular of a data set. My recommendation, not financial advice, right? Then we get the science of hindsight for a week. I would not make a decision based on this or this unless you have a ton of data from the past that can prove with certainty that you're going in the wrong direction. Week 3, you have a trend. This is where maybe you start making decisions. Maybe you start moving stuff. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Really trying to get people to make better decisions, and this super granularity in like thinking that this going from 189 to 89 is the end of the world. You keep changing stuff, right? Stop changing stuff. Let it roll in. Use the science of hindsight. Reality is all that matters. And in reality, even though this sucked and I was super panicked and I wanted to change everything, the reality is collected more. This looks wonky because this is an average and this is obviously there's multiple ways to do the average. I divided the sum by the sum, but you can also just code the averages right into there, right? So most people will panic right here, think the world's over, and completely miss the fact that they are on a much better path than they were last week. This is why people blow themselves up. I hope that's helpful. I'll get the formula. It's pretty straightforward. Again, it's right here. If you want to see it, you can pause this. This is rate. Right, so this is frequency and that's rate. That's what it looks like. Yep. Rate and the number of times compounded. I'll check the variables. It might not actually be n. I'm pretty sure it's n though. That's it. Okay? Stop moving stuff. Let the data come in. Use the science of hindsight to direct your decisions. Anything else is speculation. You see a new pool open up, and it's like 8 gajillion APY. That is speculation. It does not play out that way in the real world. You know that by now. If it did play out that way, again, we'd all be billionaires. So stop chasing speculation. Get the real evidence over a non-negligible period of time, and you will be shocked at how you keep getting in a better position if you stop making emotional, erratic, impulsive decisions.